For more than half a century, I practiced medicine for 53 years. I watched people reach the end of their lives. I signed over 4,000 death certificates. I stood beside hospital beds at 3 a.m. I held hands that were growing cold. I spoke the words families never forget. And after all those years, I learned something most people never want to hear. Most of them did not die because of fate, not because of bad genes, not because of terrible luck. They died because of patterns, because of habits, because of choices they repeated quietly every day. I began noticing these patterns as early as 1972. At first, I thought I was imagining them. But year after year, patient after patient, the same story appeared again and again. Some people reached their 90s, still sharp, still walking, still living. Others collapsed suddenly in their late 60s or early 70s. The difference was not intelligence. It was not wealth. It was not access to medical care. It was behavior. I am 102 years old. As I say this, I am not sharing these observations to impress you. I am sharing them because I have spent more time around death than almost anyone alive today. And I know exactly what shortens life after 60. Habit 1: sitting. How stillness quietly steals mobility and independence. Most people think aging happens because time passes. They believe that weakness, stiffness, and loss of independence are unavoidable consequences of growing older. This belief is comforting. It removes responsibility. But it is wrong. What I observed over decades of medicine is that aging accelerates, not because time moved forward, but because movement stops. Sitting is not rest, it is controlled deterioration. The human body was built for constant low-level motion. Walking, shifting, reaching, standing, squatting, adjusting. These movements are not exercise. They are maintenance when movement disappears. Systems begin shutting down in a specific order. First, circulation slows. Blood no longer moves efficiently against gravity. It pools in the legs, oxygen delivery drops. Healing becomes slower. Then the lymphatic system begins to fail. This system has no heart to pump. It relies entirely on muscle contraction. Without movement, waste products remain trapped inside tissues. Inflammation rises quietly. Muscles that are not used send a signal to the brain. No longer needed, the body listens. Muscle loss begins within days. Balance deteriorates, reaction time slows. Strength fades after age 60. This process accelerates dramatically. The body no longer rebuilds muscle easily. Lost strength is harder to regain. Falls become more likely. Recovery becomes uncertain. I watch patients who were mentally sharp and medically stable lose their independence simply because they stopped moving enough. They did not stop suddenly. They sat a little more each year. Long car rides, long television evenings, long afternoons reading without standing. They believed they were resting. They were aging. Many believe that a daily workout protected them. It did not. 1 hour of exercise cannot erase 10 hours of stillness. The body responds to patterns, not intentions. Movement must be frequent, small, repeated, integrated into the entire day. After 60, movement is not fitness. It is self-preservation. Every time you stand up, you are reminding your body that it is still needed. Habit 2: poor sleep. How the brain slowly suffocates without deep rest. Sleep is not passive. Sleep is active biological repair. Every waking moment, your brain accumulates metabolic waste, byproduct of thought, emotion, memory, and stress. These substances are neurotoxic. If they remain, there is only one time when the brain can fully remove them: deep sleep. During deep sleep, the brain shrinks slightly. opening pathways that allow fluid to wash through neural tissue. This is how waste is removed. This is how clarity is preserved. When sleep is shortened, this process stops early. When sleep is fragmented, it never completes. The brain wakes up dirty. I saw this pattern with terrifying consistency. Patients who slept poorly aged cognitively years faster than their peers. Their memory declined, their attention weakened. Their emotional stability eroded. They believed this was normal aging. It was not after 60. The brain loses flexibility. It cannot tolerate sleep debt. Missed sleep accumulates damage faster than before. Broken sleep is especially destructive. Many people wake repeatedly without awareness. Their bodies remain in bed, but their brains never descend into deep restoration. They wake tired, they feel foggy. They lose patience. Sleep medications often mask the problem without fixing it. Alcohol worsens it, ignoring it guarantees decline. Sleep after 60 is not optional. It is neurological life support. Without deep sleep, the brain cannot maintain itself. Protecting sleep protects memory, judgment, and identity. Habit 3: Loneliness. How isolation triggers physical decline. Loneliness is often misunderstood as an emotional state. It is not loneliness as a biological stressor. Humans evolved to survive in groups. For most of history, isolation meant danger. That ancient programming still governs the nervous system. When social connection disappears, the body activates survival mode. Stress hormones rise, inflammation increases, immune function weakens. This happens automatically, without conscious thought. I watch patients with severe illness outlive healthier individuals simply because they were connected to others. Someone noticed changes, someone offered comfort. Someone gave meaning to their days. Lonely patients declined faster. Healed slower died earlier. After 60, loneliness becomes easier and more common. Loss accumulates, spouses die. Friends pass away, social structures dissolve. Many older adults accept isolation quietly. They do not complain, they adapt. The body does not adapt. Conversation regulates breathing. Connection stabilizes heart rhythm. Belonging calms the nervous system. Isolation amplifies stress. It worsens sleep, it weakens resilience. Loneliness is not solved by distraction, it is solved by connection. After 60, connection must be intentional. Passive waiting no longer works. Your body depends on human contact as much as it depends on food. Habit 4: Eating for a body that no longer exists. Most people never realize this, but the body you live in after 60 is an older version of your younger body. It is a different body, different chemistry, different tolerance, different limits. Yet, most people continue eating as if nothing has changed. They eat based on habit, memory, and nostalgia. Foods from childhood, foods their parents served. Foods that once made them feel full, comforted, or rewarded. The body does not care about nostalgia. After 60, metabolism slows in ways that are not visible from the outside. Muscles burn less glucose. Insulin does not work as efficiently. Inflammatory responses become exaggerated and prolonged. A meal that once caused a small spike in blood sugar now causes hours of damage. This is why so many people say, I don't eat much, but I keep gaining weight, or I eat the same as I always did. But my health is getting worse. They are telling the truth. The problem is not quantity. It is compatibility. For decades, people were told that fat was dangerous, that cholesterol was the enemy, that carbohydrates were safe and necessary. So seniors filled their plates with toast, cereal, oatmeal, juice, crackers, rice, pasta, and sweets. They believed they were being responsible. I watched the consequences unfold. Slowly, blood sugar crept upward year after year. Joint pain became constant. Energy disappeared, cognitive clarity faded. These changes were not dramatic. That is why they were ignored. Inflammation rarely announces itself loudly. It whispers after 60. Chronic inflammation becomes a silent, background noise of life for many people. It accelerates heart disease. It damages nerves. It erodes joints. It clouds the mind. Food is one of the strongest regulators of inflammation. When I began adjusting diets of my patients, reducing processed carbohydrates and increasing protein, vegetables, and healthy fats, the changes were undeniable. Within months, energy returned. Blood markers improved, mental clarity sharpened. Pain decreased not because of medication, because the body was finally being fed what it could handle after 60. Food should do one thing above all else: stabilize the body. Protein preserves muscle, and muscle preserves independence. Healthy fats protect the brain and nervous system. Vegetables provide fiber and anti-inflammatory compounds the aging body desperately needs. Sugar does not become harmless with age. Carbohydrates do not become safer. They become more dangerous. Eating differently after 60 is not giving something up. It is protecting what you still have. Every meal is a vote for either decline or preservation. Habit 5: Chronic worry. How a constantly anxious mind destroys the body. Over time, worry is deceptive. It disguises itself as care, as responsibility, as love. People say, "I worry because I care about my children," or "I worry because I want to be prepared." The body does not understand those explanations. The body only understands one thing: threat. When you worry constantly, your nervous system believes you are in danger. Even when you are safe-seated, fed, and sheltered, stress hormones rise. Cortisol remains elevated. The body enters survival mode. Survival mode is useful for minutes. It is destructive for years. I watch patients who lived in constant, low-level anxiety age faster than those facing real physical illness. Their sleep was lighter, their digestion weaker, their immune systems compromised. Chronic worry interferes with every repair process in the body. The heart never fully rests. The brain never fully relaxes. The immune system never fully resets. Over time, the body pays a price. What makes worry especially dangerous after 60 is that it often has no clear target. People worry about things they cannot control: aging, health, death, their children's choices, the future of a world. The mind spins endlessly. The body absorbs the cost. Many older adults believe worry is inevitable, that it comes with age, that peace is unrealistic. This belief is lethal. Peace is not ignorance. It is regulation. Learning to release what cannot be controlled is not emotional weakness. It is biological intelligence. When worry decreases, blood pressure stabilizes. Sleep deepens, immune function improves. Inflammation drops. I saw patients change nothing about their diet or exercise, yet improve dramatically, simply by reducing chronic stress. Calm allows the body to repair itself after 60. Peace is not optional, it is protective. A calm nervous system is one of the strongest predictors of longevity.